Trump rolled out the red carpet for Putin. They finally met.
Trump rolls out the red carpet for Putin. The long-awaited meeting begins. Putin is in Alaska. An encounter many had been waiting years for has finally begun. It's not a football match people usually stay up past midnight for. It's something far more politically charged. Despite time zone differences, millions around the world watched with great interest. In fact, nearly 500,000 people tracked what they thought was Putin's plane on Flight Radar. But before the meeting even started, some unusual events unfolded in Alaska. The jet that many were tracking, believed to be carrying Putin, turned out to be carrying other Russian delegates. Kremlin-aligned journalist Pavel Zarubin later confirmed that Putin wasn't on that flight, saying the Russian president was still en route. By then, Trump had already landed in Alaska. The fact that Putin wasn't on the expected plane was interpreted as a deliberate security move, a classic case of Moscow playing it safe. Some reports suggest Putin changed his plans last minute and deliberately avoided the flight many assumed he'd take. And once again, Putin used one of his signature tactics, making others wait. Trump had to wait for nearly 30 minutes in his plane for the Russian president to arrive. At one point, the U.S. even rolled up the red carpet intended for Putin. But eventually, as his real plane arrived, U.S. military personnel quickly laid it back down before greeting him with formal protocol. This may have just been a result of the last-minute change of plans. Either way, after 10 years, Putin finally set foot in the U.S. again, and notably in Alaska, a region that Russia sold to the U.S. for almost nothing 158 years ago. Naturally, people are wondering, how did Putin, who's had an active arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court for 2 years, manage to visit the U.S. at all? The answer is simple. The United States never ratified the Rome Statute, meaning it's not legally bound to arrest ICC-wanted individuals. So Putin was able to step off the plane with full presidential honors and shake hands with Trump. While they were taking photos in front of a stage labeled Alaska 2025, some journalists shouted out, asking when he would stop killing civilians. Putin either ignored the question or pretended not to understand. Even their journey to the summit venue had an unusual twist. Known for always traveling in his Russian-made Urus car, Putin this time rode in Trump's vehicle in Alaska. Interestingly, while Trump was waiting in his jet, Putin's Urus had already arrived at the base. But according to Russia's TASS agency, Putin chose to begin the summit with Trump riding in his car instead. And so the highly anticipated summit finally began, watched not just by millions, but closely followed by dozens of nations. However, the original agenda was slightly altered. A planned one-on-one meeting between the two leaders was scrapped. Instead, the White House had earlier announced a 3-on-3 format. Representing the U.S. were Trump, Marco Rubio, and National Security Advisor Witkoff, while Russia was represented by Putin, Foreign Minister Lavrov, and top aide Ushakov. Broader delegations would only join for extended discussions. During their meeting, American fighter jets, including F-35s and a B-2 bomber that had recently struck Iran, reportedly flew overhead.
Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to the news channel, hit like, and leave your thoughts in the comments.